Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Darth Vader from Sideshow Collectibles. This figure is really cool, but before we take a closer look at it, let's go ahead and sort of take a size measurement and then look at his packaging. So Darth Vader here stands at 14 inches tall, and that definitely makes him larger than most average 1/6 scale figures, and that is accurate, of course. Let me go ahead and get my Marmot Stormtrooper up here just for a size comparison so you can sort of see. And both of these figures are on their stands right now, and they're about the same thickness, so just sort of keep that in mind too. As you can see, Darth Vader here stands an entire head taller than the Stormtrooper here. So let's go ahead and talk about the packaging. And like always when I'm reviewing these larger scale figures, just bear with me while I get everything set up on screen. Just because everything's so large, it's a little bit difficult. But here's the packaging here. It's got a really nice picture of Darth Vader here on the front. Nothing on either side. And then on the back here, there's another picture of Darth Vader. Again, just looking really intimidating. And then, like basically every Sideshow Collectibles Star Wars figure, it's got the magnets that hold the side of the box closed, and you open it up and then you see Darth Vader here on the side, and then there's obviously a clear window that obviously the figure would be displayed in here. And normally it's not brown cardboard in there. It's got an insert that makes it sort of red and black, just like this over here. But I have that out because I have all of the accessories removed from the box. And normally this is where I would stop for you stop looking at the packaging, but there's one thing that I want to talk about that I'm really disappointed about, and that's this massive crease up here on the top. I didn't do that to the box. That is how it arrived to me from Sideshow Collectibles. And obviously it doesn't just arrive at your house like this. It's got a shipping sleeve or shipping box. And one thing that they're doing that I don't like is they're making the sleeve the same or just a little bit bigger than the box here. So it sits flush with the outside of the box. And that means that whenever whoever's delivering it to you, whether it's UPS, FedEx, the mailman, whoever, it means that they, anything that they do to the box directly goes into the interior box. So it's really not protecting it. They've done in the past, they've done some boxes where on the top there's a little bit of styrofoam in the corners to sort of keep it floating inside of a larger box. And I wish they would go back to that because these figures are going up in price. But it feels like, like they're cheaping out on things that they shouldn't be. There's no reason why I should have received my figure like this. And I'm not like terribly upset because I don't keep the figures in the box anyway, and I don't have any plans to resell them in the immediate future. So it's not a huge deal to me, but for somebody who keeps them in the box, that would be a complete deal breaker for me. But anyway, enough of that rant. Let's go ahead and get back to the figure itself. So Darth Vader here, like I said, stands at 14 inches tall, so he's massive, and he does come with a pretty reasonable amount of accessories, really cool ones, I think. The first one here we'll go ahead and talk about is this hand right here. It's like a force choking, force hand, gesture hand. It can be used for a lot of things, and it's probably my favorite hand out of all of them. And that goes on his right hand. And then he's got a gripping hand on this side. He does come with one for both sides, but I'll just show you this one since it's on the figure. And then keep moving on with hands here. Let's see. Here's the other gripping hand. Just for a closer look, you get one for both sides, obviously. Really nice detail on these. You get a pointing hand, which again is cool. Absolutely amazing detail on this here. You get two hands that are meant for putting on the little boxes on his belt. So you'd pose them like this, which is cool. It's something that definitely it's a real specific pose, but if you want to do that, you need these hands here. And one thing I do want to mention as well is these hands have soft rubber around the edges. you know, so that they can be posed and everything. And there is a ball hinge down inside there. It's sort of hard to see because everything's black. But that's how each hand comes with one, and that's how you change the hands on the figure. And then he comes, of course, with two fist hands. Again, absolutely spectacular detail, and you get one for each side, which is nice. And then, of course, he comes with his lightsaber. Absolutely amazing detail on the hilt. It's got two little metal rings, one here and one on the very end. If it'll focus. There we go. One on the end here, which is just really, really cool detail. And then the blade itself is this nice translucent red. And they've done this thing here where it's got some texture on the actual blade. And it reminds me a little bit of Kylo Ren's lightsaber, where it's got that sort of real textural, angry sort of feeling to it. So I like that they've done that, even though I don't think it's like terribly accurate. I think it looks cool, and that's sort of what matters to me. And then, of course, its final accessory here is this one. It's just another hilt without the lightsaber or the actual blade in it. And it's basically the same as the other one. It's got the loops and everything. The paint detail is really nice on this one here. So back onto the figure. One last feature of the figure that could be kind of thrown in with accessories is the light up feature. Now, normally I don't like light up features. I think they're a little gimmicky. But this one is well done. So if you like light up features, this one here is well done, and I'll try and show it off here. If you turn the figure around and lift up his cape, there's a little battery box, and on that there's a little tiny switch. And when you flip the figure around, these lights here sort of blink, and then these ones on the belt light up. And I'll try and turn off my lights so you can maybe kind of see that. Let me get up and turn off my big light in the room. I'll be right back. So there we go. You can really see it now. These lights blink here, and then the ones on the belt also light up. Again, I don't really like light up features. I think they're sort of gimmicky, so I'm probably going to just take the batteries out of this for display. But if you do like that, it is well done and it's well executed and everything is well hidden. So I do like that. And then let me go ahead and get my lights back on so we can see everything here. Alright, so finally, let's kind of talk about the articulation. And this is something that is a little bit difficult to talk about for this figure because Darth Vader is not the most agile in general, especially in the movies. So I don't think the figure necessarily needs to have that articulation. I'd rather them go for, you know, accurate costume and accurate sculpt over that. But if you're looking for a super posable Darth Vader figure, this one's probably not the best for you. In the head, it's got what I'm imagining is probably a ball peg, and it lets the head look up and down, side to side, everything that you would want there, that's fine. He's got a butterfly joint in the armpit, which lets the arms move forward and back, which is, again, is fine. He's got ball hinge on top of that with a nice range of motion. He's got double jointed elbows, give you about 90 degrees or so. Let me turn the figure so you can actually see that. About 90 degrees or so. I think that's all that he needs. It's more than enough to do all of the classic poses that you would want to do. And then, like I mentioned before, there's a ball hinge in the wrist, but because the glove is so long, it basically turns out to just be a swivel for the most part. Here in the torso, it is articulated. You can sort of swivel the figure, but you're not really going to get much posing done with it. Just because of how tight the clothing is on the figure, it sort of restricts that motion, and you can get him to lean forward and lean back to do those type of poses. He does have T-jointed hips, but they're very, very limited. Let me pull this up so you can actually see it. Get all of his clothing out of the way. They're a little bit limited, and that's primarily because, again, the suit is fairly tight to the body, and they've done all of this stitching in the pleather here. And what that does is it makes it where it doesn't want to stretch with the figure. And obviously it looks amazing, but it does restrict the movement quite a bit. He does have double jointed knees, which give you about 90 degrees, which is definitely more than enough for Darth Vader. And there is a thigh swivel hidden in the leg as well that works. And then he's got what feel like, if I can see it there, yeah, they're ball hinge ankles. So they could be worked around to become an ankle rocker, do anything that you want there. And they've got decent range of motion again for Darth Vader. So overall, I definitely like this figure a lot. Also comes with a U-stand base there, which works well. I definitely like this figure a lot. It completes what I would consider to be my, my original trilogy collection. And I think it looks absolutely amazing. If you are wanting a figure that is a little bit more posable, obviously most Darth Vaders are probably not going to be that posable anyway, but this one here does have basically just a limited range sort of in the torso hip region, which I'm fine with. But just sort of keep that in mind whenever you're buying this figure. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.